right, another edition of Tech on Ice coming at you. I wanted to kind of dive into a little bit of something that I was reading in an article over the weekend about economies of scale and like AI. Because I think one of the things that's very interesting to me about AI is that right now it doesn't make money. Um, if you read any reporting on it, it takes six figures at least daily to run some of these AI based services. Um, and that's something that is great because it provides all this great computing power and makes it available for people, for customers and businesses to innovate. But we're going to get to this point, and I think we're starting to get there, where we're starting to run up against, like, is AI going to eventually, when is it going to hit critical mass where it's going to be cost effective for businesses to run it? I'm talking about from like a software vendor perspective. Um, because there's a few things that I see. It's like what could potentially be issues from a cost perspective for AI. One is like just the raw computing power needed, so like electricity. Um, the cost of chips. Like I think anybody who has invested in Nvidia in the last 5 years is well aware of like how important it is for the hardware to be very specialized. Um, and then you need the specialized hardware to be in data centers. So you need these data centers that are just full of high performance compute. And then talking about it, like then we're talking about building all the software on top of it. So like when are we going to reach a point, do you think, when all of these large tech companies that are hosting AI based services, like the big cloud providers or OpenAI or even Anthropic, right? Like when are they going to eventually start making money? Right? Because eventually, like, you can only put billions and billions of dollars into a particular segment before you realize, oh, it might not be as advantageous to be in the segment. Like you saw that a little bit with like blockchain sort of technology. Um, Not to say the blockchain is still like not a thing anymore. Blockchain is very much still a thing for certain things, but if anybody remembers, like the crypto phase, the blockchain phase, um, Web3 stuff, like that stuff sort of hit critical mass, and then there was an acknowledgement by the industry, like, oh, like customers don't need this enough for it to be worth us to actually like build these services. And I see AI is similar in that regard. And it'll be interesting to see over the next 18 months to 2 years, like how much adoption it gets across like all of the like global like business, like global business. I sound like a Lego movie. Um, like across like the entire like spectrum of building solutions for customers, right? Like how much AI is essential to that. Because you're seeing it with all the big companies, like they're all pivoting to AI, and this is just my take. I think a lot of that is due to the fact that like they need as many customers in as many segments as possible to be able to reach that critical mass. Because nobody really knows what the number is. Like when AI will start making money. There's a lot of tossing out there about bringing the cost of electricity down, right? So you're hearing things about geothermal. You're talking about things like I saw some crazy. I don't know if it was on Reddit or somewhere else, but it's like people are talking about like dropping data centers in like liquid cooling solution, right? Like not just like liquid cooling servers, but like buying a big area in the desert and filling it full of liquid and then dropping a data center in it. Like that's insane. But like that's sort of things that people are thinking about. It's like, okay, how can we bring like the cost of electricity like as low as possible? Because more than likely the hardware will not go down in price. I mean, as long as there's only one major hardware vendor, um, or one facilitator of the production of chips, like the cost of hardware is not really going to go down. Um, so it's like, okay, so how can you lower the computing model? And then the rest of it on the other side is like how you bring in as much revenue as possible. And a lot of these services are very like per user based. Um, like $20 per user per month or whatever it is. And how many users can you get? So we get to that point where, okay, the costs are offset. And it's always going to be a balancing act because as you get more customers, you're going to add more supply to act for that demand and like the law of economics there. But like it's it's an interesting discussion about like when will AI officially make money? Like when will it be very cost effective and like revenue generating and profit generating for businesses? I don't know. I think the next 18 months to 2 years will be very important because I mean I would not be surprised if 2 years out people are like, oh, do you remember that AI thing? Like AI will still be a thing, but like in the academic world, it might not be as essential in the business world. I would not be surprised. I mean, I think that a lot of companies are putting all their chips into that basket. But if the customers aren't there, then eventually they're gonna have to pivot back to what they were making their money on before, like this AI wave. Um, I don't think AI is going anywhere, but I think that the demand in the industry might not be as much as what a lot of people think. That's just my spicy take. It could be wrong. I still think there's a space in it for some businesses and some segments to like use AI a lot, but it might not be something that every single industry, every single segment, every single customer needs. All right. Well, I'd love to kind of hear your thoughts. Like, comment down below what you think about like what the next 18 months to 2 years of AI looks like. When you think AI will start making money. Am I completely off topic by this? Am I, am I being crazy? Like, is AI here to stay, and the companies will continue to put money into it? Is even if it's not profitable for 15, 20 years, who knows? I'd love to hear it down below. Comment down below if you have some interesting thing to say, or if you want me to talk about this more. I'm curious, and I've been reading a lot into this space. Um, and as always, like and share and subscribe. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.